everybody.
Yep, they'll show up at your house.
Yeah, one of our former guests had pictures of his marijuana plantation over his shoulder. Probably not a good idea. So
you don't post your pictures of that?
I don't post my marijuana pictures. Now, what do you plan to do with this, Toma?
Probably show it. I've taken it to drawing classes when I work with the kids out on the river, and then have them do that, like draw pictures of this, and I will talk about what it is and how these things were, been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And how important it is to keep up this kind of art, because it's going away fast and it's really rare.
Well, one of the arts that I kind of would like to see brought back is making petroglyphs.
Old school graffiti?
Old school graffiti, yeah, with chisels and rocks, and that's something that has been lost, although I do it on the sly when nobody knows.
No?
So nobody knows what I've done.
No, I love that idea.
Yeah. And is that another ladle right next to it there?
That is another ladle. And then
tell us about this one.
This one is iron casted, and it has another salamander on it as well. Taking a little bit different ways, like I changed the shape when usually they're more like of a lemon shape or almond into it, and like I made it with more points, and so it's a little bit
I've seen this diamond style on some Northwest Coast cups, drinking cups that were kind of diamond shaped on the top. So, and this has got a whistle in it too?
When I was pouring it, a little bit of slag got into it, and it created like a little bit of hollow area in
cavity.
it. Yeah, you could try it.
Well, I think if you drill another hole right here,
and get it going,
it would work just fine.
Yeah, I was wondering if I can get it going right.
Yeah, just go to Home Depot and get a drill bit and just drill on it.
Yeah.
I need a hole right here.
Now, have you made others like this?
Ladles, yeah, like iron ladles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually tried to do like a bunch of them over the summer, and the mold broke and it didn't turn out as well. But I have one in bronze as well.
Oh. Yeah, this has a good heft to it. It could almost be a weapon.
Yeah, well, so could my fist.
And speaking of weapons, we are getting at the bottom of the hour here, but let's talk about this tool.
So
this adze.
This is a D-adze, and I used another ladle that I studied on at the museum to get the form. And so I carved it out of wood and then molded it and created a wax piece out of it and then cast it into bronze. And I got that green from ammonia. I let it sit in ammonia vapors and it turns it green.
Oh, very nice. And you can't, I don't know if you can see, but there is a axe head right here that's used for the blade. So it was all cast together, just like the other one. Now, have you used this?
Just messing around in the backyard. Not on any full projects yet, but hopefully I will get around to it someday.
Yeah, very good. Well, I just noticed that we are at the bottom of the hour, and so while the commercials are running on other channels, we're going to take a little break too. Just about 5 minutes or so. We have a clip from John Trudell, that one of the talks that he did.
Way back.
Way back, yeah. But John's always got a lot of good information to give us. And we're going to take a little break, and then we'll come back with Toma Villa. I'm sorry. Villa.
Just say vanilla, and then vanilla. Just remember that, and then Villa. So.
And Adam White Rock, I'm David Liberty. We'll be back in a little bit after some good words from John Trudell.
Whenever you're ready, Jim.
Thanks for watching Native Nations.
I think we don't recognize ourselves, you know, and I think, see, to me that we live in a reality where we're surrounded by total chaos in the thing that goes on. It's total chaos. We can't make sense of it, you know, and we just get fed more chaos. And it's done and designed in such a way that it's never meant for us to make sense of it, because if we can't make, because in that way it can continue to feed off of us. In my reality, everything is about energy. Everything. Everything that's ever going to happen in this human dimension that we're in is about energy. All right? Human being. One way, spirit, energy, essence. But human being. And we have, so that our energy is in the being part of human. I mean, in reality, we're beings. We're beings. We're beings being human beings. All right? Because being just is. Being just is. Being just is. So we're human, but we're taking, this is like a temporary ride we're taking, right? This is our human ride. This is like an amusement park, or amusement park, some kind of deranged thing. But it's almost like we're taking a human ride. We're born as being into human. We're going to be here for a while, and we go back to being. And it's what happens in the course of the human ride that says about the evolution of being. And this is what I think is going on. Right? So this is about the reality of being, and we're temporarily human. But while we're temporarily human, what we do with that power of being while we're temporarily human affects everything. All right, I'm going to start by reading some poems, and then we'll just we'll see where we end up. This is called Never Too Loudly. At times they were kind, they were polite in their sophistication, smiling but never too loudly, acting in a civilized manner, an illusion of gentleness, always fighting to get their way. While the people see, the people know, the people wait, the people say, the closing of your doors will never shut us out. The closing of your doors can only shut you in. We know the predator. We see them feed on us. We are aware to starve the beast is our destiny. The times they were kind, they were polite, but never honest. This is called Very Eyes. We see your technological society devour you before your very eyes. We hear your anguished cries, exalting greed through progress. While you seek material advances, the sound of flowers crying, the sound of flowers dying, carry messages through the wind trying to tell you about balance and your safety. But your minds are chained to your machines and the strings dangling from your puppeteer's hands, turning you, twisting you into forms and confusions beyond your control. Your mind for a job, your mind for a TV, your mind for a hairdryer, your mind for consumption. With your atom bombs, your material bombs, your drug bombs, your racial bombs, your class bombs, your sexist bombs, your ageist bombs, devastating your natural shelters, making you homeless on earth, chasing you into illusions, fooling you, making you pretend you can run away from the ravishing of your spirit. While the sound of flowers dying carry messages through the wind, trying to tell you about balance and your safety. This is called a dimension called loneliness. Trying to isolate us in a dimension called loneliness, leading us into the trap. Believe in their power, but not in ourselves. Piling us with guilt, always taking the blame. Greed chasing out the balance. Trying to isolate us in a dimension called loneliness. Economic deities seizing power. Through illusions created, armies are justified. Class systems are democracy. God listens to warmongers' prayers. Tyranny is here, divide and conquer, trying to isolate us in a dimension called loneliness, greed, a parent, insecurity, the happiness companion, genocide conceived in sophistication, technologic material civilization, a rationalization, replacing a way to live, trying to isolate us in a dimension called loneliness. We're human beings, you know, and so whatever's happening to us in our individual as well as collective generational lives, this chaos that goes on, we need to understand, recognize who we are, and we're human beings. See, I don't think we don't understand that anymore. You know, and I think one of the purposes of technologic industrial civilization is to erase or suppress the memory of the human being from the human beings when they arrive in this reality. Suppress the memory, eliminate the memory of the human being, because the memory of the human being, all right, has a perception of reality that's entirely different. So anyway, as human beings, to recognize who we are, human, our bone, flesh, and blood, our DNA, we're made up of the metals, minerals, and liquids of the earth, or shapes of the earth. And we have being. All things of the earth are made up of the same DNA, so to speak. And all things of the earth have being, because our being comes from our relationship to the sun, sky, universe. I mean, literally, the sunlight is the seed that brings life to the water-bearing womb that is the earth. See, so our being is in relationship to that. Spirit, energy, human beings. See, so our relationship to the reality of power is in the reality of being a human being. Now, what I think they're doing to us, I think they're eating. To me, it's like eating our spirit. Or it's like some disease that has affected the living energy that is the earth, and there's this disease energy that has affected the living energy of the earth, and it passes on through human consciousness, and we pass it on. That's how it got there. But whatever it is, we're human beings, and we understand, or we know we live in a technologic perceptional reality where they can take the being part of the earth that's called uranium and put it through a mining refinement process and convert its being into a form of energy. They can take the fossils from the earth and they can put it through a mining refinement process and convert its being into a form of energy. Well, I think they take the technologic industrial civilizing process, mines the being part of human through how it programs the human to perceive reality through the use of the human intelligence. So it programs us how to perceive reality.
All right, and we are back. Camera number 2, we got it.
Welcome to Native Nations, everybody, with our guest artist tonight, Toma Villa.
Yep.
Yeah, you got it.
Finally.
Yeah, we've been on a couple of shows, and he would forget who the name is or say some other name. We're like,
Just make something up for him.
Yeah, it's a part of getting old. And that's what I'm hoping that's my excuse. Anyway. So Toma is involved in a lot of different projects right now, things that are going on and happening. One of them I was involved in to a certain extent. The Columbia River Intertribal Fish Commission wants to put up a memorial to the fishers who have been lost in the river. And Toma, you've been involved in that. I guess it's kind of slowed up after the initial start, but where is that right now?
We are getting back into the role of that again, and we're starting our meetings and putting together grants and finding funders to help fund that project. And what